All right, everybody, as you can see, we are now joined by head coach Nate Oats. Same routine, we'll have coach make an opening statement, and then we'll go ahead and take a few questions after that. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Coach Oats.
Yeah, I mean, thought Tennessee really came ready to play. They, without Fulkerson, they thought they had a great plan. They came out, played a lot better than us in the first half. You know, shoot, even at the beginning of the second half, I think we got down 15. If that's correct. Before we went on that 14-0 run, so you know, a lot of respect, a lot of credit to Tennessee how they came out and played. You know, I think for us it was one of those gut check wins where the guys expect to win. I think we're 6-3 in 1 or 2 possession games this year. Last year, I believe we were 4-7. So I think it's one of those deals where our guys have changed their attitude. They expect to win. We ended up out rebounding them after we were down 8 at one point on the glass. You know, our defense picked up significantly in the second half. We had multiple guys step up, make big plays. Obviously, you know, Herb and JQ, you know, with the scoring. But, you know, you look at a guy like Keon Ellis with the defense he did on Keon Johnson in the second half, the 3 he hit, you know, off Herb's pass out of the post. You look at the 3 Reese hit. It was huge when we needed him to in a run. I thought Reese's minutes were great. You know, I just thought it was a combination of a lot of guys stepping up, making big plays. And we obviously got to play a lot better on the offensive side. We got to play a lot better in the first half. Tomorrow we're going to be in some serious trouble. But we got to the championship game. You know, now we gotta get it together again. And we had some pretty good players that struggled today that I think hopefully will get themselves ready to go tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. As a reminder, just use the raise hand function for a question. Let's start first with Cecil Hurt.
Coach, yeah, I was going to ask first Josh's status, and then you mentioned Keon and just how he stepped in and played in Josh's absence.
Yeah, I didn't think Keon had a particularly great first half, but I thought his second half was unbelievable. I thought just his effort on defense, job he did on Keon Johnson, you know, he's in there getting deflections, loose balls, hit the big 3, attacked the rim, made his free throws. You know, the free throws, he went to the line twice there late in the game and went 4 for 4 at the line when we needed him to. So I couldn't be happier for Keon. Primo's kind of day to day from what the trainer said. I know he got a lot of work in this morning. He's going to get a lot more in this afternoon, and we'll see where it takes him. I mean, if he's not, you know, good enough, we won't play him tomorrow. We'll try to get him back for the NCAA tournament at some point. But it's not something where he's going to be out where he requires surgery or anything like that. He should be back playing this year, whether it's tomorrow or next weekend, Sweet 16 weekend at some point. Hopefully we get him back here soon.
Let's go to Kyle Tucker next.
Yeah, Nate, they were kind of mid-ranging you to death there. You're cold from 3 and down big. I think a lot of folks were probably ready to make this game kind of a referendum on style of play. But for you, is a game like this more proof that with your defense and kind of general toughness, you're almost cold shooting proof?
Shoot, I'd like to know what they ended up shooting. I'm actually looking at our box score now. I mean, on their our HT box. I mean, they made a ton of mid-range 2s. I mean, it was, what do those guys have them for? They 2-point jump. Yeah, they shot 41%. They on those, which still ends up to be, you know, they shot 46% on them, which still, you know, ends up being 0.92, which is exactly where they were at for the game. So, I mean, it's kind of where they were. You know, our defense was a 0.92. That's what they shot in the mid-range. Our offense was a 0.96. Now, you know, we only shot 25% from 3, which is worse. You know, that's only a 0.75. So maybe the analytics played out in their favor tonight a little bit. But, you know, we feel like over the course of time, over the course of a season, over the course of 40 games, they will. But I mean, that game right there, I mean, it is different styles, but it really just come down to who wanted to play harder, who could get more rebounds. I mean, all the analytics stuff, I'm not thinking about any of that. We think about that when we put stuff in back in the summer or fall. We're thinking about how to get stops, how to get rebounds. I mean, we're not letting them shoot mid-range. We'd like for them to shoot them and then contest them and try to make a miss. But shoot, they were making a ton of them. And it seemed in the first half, they just kept getting to their spot, pulling up. We didn't do a good enough job contesting them. We didn't do a good enough job keeping them from getting to their spot. And it was great offense for them, for most of the game, to be honest with you.
Mike Rodak.
Nate, just beyond the chance to win a tournament title, for the first time in 30 years and what that means for your players, are you thinking at all about the chance to get up to the one line tomorrow? Does that matter to you at all?
You know what? Honestly, that really didn't come into play in my mind till you brought it up. So I would think if we would win tomorrow, I don't know if there's got to be something else happen or not. I don't really know. I honestly, once I get locked into the conference tournament play, everything else is kind of out the window. And thank you. And we're just playing. So we're got to get locked into figuring out who's going to win. LSU, Arkansas, they're both good. We've, split with Arkansas, beat LSU twice, but LSU's super talented. So we'll watch this game here. We'll hunker down in the war room with the staff, try to figure out a game plan for beating whoever it is and let the chips fall where they may on that stuff. But, I don't know. I'd guess if we won it, we'd have a pretty good shot at getting a 1 seed. Somebody told me, I think there's maybe 25 teams in the past however many years that have won the regular season and the tournament in a Power 5 league. And then 20 out of the 25, I think, all got 1 seeds. So I would think we'd be in good company to get one if we won both. If we don't, we got no control over that. We control how hard we played, and we're going to try to bring it as much as we can.
Looks like we got about 3 questions left in the queue, so we'll finish up with these 3. Let's go to Joe Goodman first.
I was going to follow up on Rodak's question because my question was similar. Never mind what happens tomorrow. Really good teams win the way that you guys won today. Do you think that y'all made it that today helped make that case for you, regardless of what happens tomorrow for number 1?
I have no idea. I don't know what the committee is looking at, to be honest with you. I will say this: when you play poorly on offense and still figure out a way to win, which we've done a lot here in the last month and a half, our offense has kind of fallen. I think at one point we had got up to 10th or 11th in the country on KenPom. I think we're mid-30s right now. Today's game may have dropped it. But we're number 1 in the country on defense coming into the game today. I think our defense, based on the second half performance, maybe stayed at 1. I think defense can carry you. I think the teams that make runs have to have good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. And our offense is definitely capable. And I think we've showed, and we've said it a lot, how we make shots, our offense should determine the margin of victory, not whether we win or lose. And I think that played true tonight. We didn't win by a lot like we did yesterday when our offense was flowing, but we won the game based on our defense.
All right, let's go to Cecil Hurt.
Coach, Herb has 21 and 13, and you get in the post game, and you certainly mentioned him, but he's not the focal point of what you even talk about. Just what does that say about what you expect from him and what he does for this team?
Yeah, 21, 13, 4 assists yesterday, and what did he play? 16 and a half minutes, and had 8, 7, and 7. If I'd have played him 25 minutes, he'd had a triple double. So, he's the guy that fills the stat sheet on numerous things. You look at a block shot, 3 steals, 4 assists. He's doing a little bit of everything. So there's a reason he was league MVP. Now, he could also come out and just play hard on defense. We could win a game with him scoring in single digits too. We've got other guys, I think of Petty and Shaq. Neither one of them shot it particularly great. Shaq just didn't get that many shots today, to be honest with you. But, those guys could step up and really give us some big minutes, and Herb could impact the game a million different ways on that end. So I just think it speaks to how well Herb impacts the game on every different level. And yeah, I mean, to have 21 and 13 and people not be talking about how great he was, I think shows you what we expect out of him every night.
All right, we got Haley Sutton next, and we'll finish with Scott Griffin. Go ahead, Haley.
Coach, now that you kind of have the win out of the way, is there a team between Arkansas and LSU that you prefer? Do you match up better with, or is it just wherever the chips fall?
Or what do you want me to make it a public statement that I'd rather play one and then they lose and then the other one puts it all over their locker room wall? So I think I'm just going to let the chips fall where they may and see. I mean, they're both really good. Obviously, we lost to Arkansas at their place. Our staff, our players would like to get a rematch and do a better job. We've played LSU twice and beat them, but they're ridiculously talented. Their offensive firepower is as good as anybody maybe in the country. So, I'm sure they'd make some adjustments and be ready to go. And it's hard to beat a team that's as good as they are 3 times in a year. So whichever way it ends up, I mean, we've talked about it as a staff, who do you want to win it? Does it really matter? Just, you got no control over it. Same stuff we tell our players. Don't really have any control over the refs. So quit worrying about officiating calls. We have no control over who we play. Let's just, watch the game. We got scouts for both ready to roll. As soon as it's over, we'll get the guys in. We give ourselves a few hours to get this game added to the scout, and then we'll get ready to play Sunday.
All right, last question, Scott Griffin.
Nate, I thought it was interesting you put Juwan Gary in pretty early with kind of a flat start, and he always brings energy. And if you can talk about that, because his stats are never overwhelming, really. 3 points, 3 rebounds, 11 minutes. But just the energy, it's like he gets everybody kind of going. Then you can take him out, and that energy sometimes continues. And then compare that to, you really didn't know what you had with this guy. He was injured last year. You really didn't know preseason this year. He's a tweener. He doesn't have outside skills. He doesn't have inside size, but it looks like it doesn't matter to him.
No, he plays super hard. I mean, you go back to yesterday, he really impacted the game. He had that block shot on JV, and then he goes down, he gets the dunk on the alley-oop from Quinterly. He's athletic, he's big, he's strong. We're working on getting his skill level up. Ideally, he's able to shoot threes, put it on the floor, do all the stuff you'd like a 6'6" guy to do, but he's 6'6", 230, so he's got more physicality to him at 6'6". We kind of play him at the 4 and the 5 both. But I knew, what you're going to get with him. He's going to come in, he's going to play super hard, he's going to dive all over, he's going to make plays. He did that again. He had 3 rebounds in under 11 minutes. I didn't think we had energy out of the gate, so we had some foul trouble with Shaq early, which is disappointing because he couldn't really get in the flow today. But, we also didn't have the energy we needed from some guys. And we know Juwan's going to bring energy. So that's the thing I told our guys, like, everybody contributed to this win. So even though, Juwan only played under 10, Rojas just played, or under 11, Rojas was under 10. I thought both those guys gave us, good energy, good minutes. And we just got to continue to be able to go to the bench to guys like that. Keon Ellis now in the lineup without Primo, but Quinterly comes off the bench, ends up being our second leading scorer. And I can't say enough about the job Quinterly's done, but yeah, different guys bring different things. And we feel like we've got kind of the chess pieces that you can put in and you got options. And we felt like we were a lot deeper than Tennessee today. Hopefully that pays off. It was nice. We were able to rest most of the guys yesterday. Didn't play anybody over 20 minutes. Now Herb and Petty are at 35. So we're going to need Juwan, Rojas, some of these guys that played lower minutes. Reese only played 16. So some of those guys are going to maybe have to give us a few more minutes tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.